This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Say hello to our friends at Bayou 95.7 in lovely New Orleans, Louisiana. Also up in Boston, WAAF, Boston's rock station. Listeners jumping on there. And 105.3, The Bear in Blacksburg, Virginia. Ted, are we ready to send a couple exclusive liners down to one of our friends at 105.3, The Bear?
Let's do it.
I was supposed to send them down today, by the way, for not only The Bear, but the Big Dog in Joplin, Missouri again.
Oh, Big Dog will get it.
Now, is the Bear doing the Bear Girls again this year?
The Bear, well, we
got the Big Dog Girls. I want to know if they're the Bear Girls.
Bear Boys.
Bear Boys.
Oh, the Bear Boys.
Yeah, the Bear Men.
That's right.
We're going to go out.
I'm actually July.
Yeah, it's we're having our first annual
Get your calendar now.
leather party in Blacksburg there, and we're going to throw down for a Virginia Tech game. All right, here we go. 105.3, The Bear.
That was good.
Meaner.
Meaner.
105.3, The Bear.
He sounds more backed up now.
All right.
Like,
Hang
that
on.
didn't sound meaner.
All right, pissed off bear.
Yeah, he's
Here we go.
angry.
Yes. 105.3, The Bear.
Go to hell, boo-boo.
They'll like that one. They're going to like that one. And here's one for you, Joplin, Missouri. Big Dog, 97.9, everything that rocks. There you go. There we go.
Oh, the Big Dog's just too
Took
easy.
care of our contractual obligations.
I
there.
scared a guy at an MMA fight once barking like that.
Barking. Like, who is this dog?
Well, there was like
Not
three
one of the
dudes-
fighters, I hope.
No, but there was three guys in front of us that were very loudly cheering, and they were kind of annoying. So at one point I said, hey, my man is fighting in the last fight. Much louder than you guys, just giving you a heads up. And they were like, yeah, all right. And I kept barking, and they kept trying to bark. And finally, they were like, man, you're loud.
You're a loud barker. You're a loud barker.
I'm real loud.
I'm half man, half dog.
Bad jokes coming up. The return of Ted versus the FCC. Our question today is dealing with DNA, whether it's official DNA, what you think is in your DNA. My granddad was an alcoholic. My dad was an alcoholic. Whatever the deal is, you know what I mean? Like, it's in the DNA. You could say that Dale Earnhardt Jr. could say that racing is in his DNA, or whatever the deal is. You know
That's why he stepped away.
That's right. Good or bad, what is in your DNA? 844-999-OLA.
Naturally, we have an S-ton of comments about, and it covers everything we've talked about so far. I'm going to talk about what you brought up most recently, which is the idea that for whatever reason, you see a lot of couples, and when you look at them, they kind of look alike.
Like they could be brother and sister
Right,
or related. Somehow.
So a lot of people agree, a lot of people disagree, but I isolated this one because I think this guy needs to know. And it says, look, I'm positive that Miles' theory is false. I look like Zach Wilde. My wife looks like Taylor Swift. All right, listen, man, and this is not coming from me. This is from Zach Wilde himself. The reason he grew his mustache and beard is because when he first joined Ozzy, everyone kept making fun of him for looking like a chick. A blonde chick. Just saying.
Yeah.
Get rid of that mustache and beard, and you're both blonde chicks now, man. It's still there. That's all I'm saying.
She can't grow a beard, dude.
She can't grow a mustache and beard. You can shave yours off, then stand
And then look at your faces.
Right, because, again, Zach Wilde said the reason he grew is when he first joined Ozzy's band, people were just berating him on that. So just want you to bear that in mind. As far as nature versus nurture, it says nature versus nurture. My mom is a meth head, and my dad is an alcoholic. I'm 22 with my own house and family with a good job, never drank or smoked in my life.
Mm-hmm. And never answers the phone from a relative.
Another comment comes in. I have a substance use in my DNA. My dad was an alcoholic smoker. Mom was an alcoholic smoker, meth user. I'm a functioning addict who uses meth regularly, and no one can tell. I own my own home and truck. I've had the same job for the last 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, so those are the opposite ends of the spectrum as far as that goes.
Well, I mean, but what counts as a functioning? Like, I know what counts is like you still have a job and everything else. But
People can't tell.
You're
right, but it's just funny because, like, with methamphetamines, I feel like people, like, if you said I'm a functioning meth head or a meth person or heroin, people are like, oh my God. But I feel like there's a lot of other people that use other recreational drugs kind of in that same frequency.
But they just don't call it functioning.
Yeah.
You don't sit there, man. Half your sales force is snorting blow, right? So, I mean, but no, I'm a functioning cokehead. They're like, nah, dude, I'm just up on coke all the time.
Like, I've never been to a festival and somebody like, I'm a functional mushroom head.
Right.
No, yeah, that would be a tough one to carry on. You know what I mean? Like, after a day or so, you're like, I got to get
Yeah, it's
myself
like
now.
alcohol, heroin, and meth. There's a guy, a close family friend, and I've known him my entire life. But anyway, years ago, he came to visit the family. My father was mentioning that he had to buy 3 handles of Jack Daniels because this particular family friend was visiting. I'm about 14 or 15 at this time. the guy was there, I think it was 3 days. Either way, all the Jack Daniels was gone. And then my father was just like, Jesus Christ, man. But every time you see this guy, so I said to my mother, I'm like, look, I was here all weekend with this guy, man. I never saw him get drunk. And my mother just laughed, put her hand on my head and said, baby, you've never seen him sober. Like, in your life, as long as you've been alive, that dude's never been sober a single time you talk to him. He's like the ultimate functioning alcoholic. That dude would come unhinged if he couldn't drink. And it's the damnedest thing, man.
Yep. Good or bad, what is in your DNA? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Well, I have two genetic traits from my mom's side. One is unique and one is really envied.
Okay.
The one that's unique is whenever we're upset, we don't bleed that much. Our veins and arteries constrict, and we just keep going until we calm down, and then we'll start bleeding like a stuck pig.
Do you also sleep upside down by your feet at night? Seems inhuman, man.
Is that a circulation problem?
We don't know. All we know is in our genetics, we're related to a mercenary clan from Scotland called the Gun Clan.
The Gun Clan.
And they were
oddly enough, that's what we call ourselves here in the studio.
Do you have a family crest? Is that what they have in Scotland?
They do, but we're also related to a McMullen clan, which is healers. So we'll fight you and then we'll heal you afterwards.
Clan is an interesting word to put when you're talking about a family, isn't it?
Well, It's only interesting here.
Yeah, I guess so.
And even then, only as of the 1800s. Like, it was fine up until then.
Right.
You have to say clan. With the C.
Well,
man.
clan to me
With
meant
the C.
Clan to me also meant that there was a large number of people who were family living in the same area. So it wasn't
Right.
just the same house. It was like, okay, if you went to Darnell Hollow, all right, which was outside of where I kind of
Oh, this is a real place.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
I thought that was a dude's name.
No, I thought
Darnell
it was
Hollow? Oh, the hollow, like a hollow. Like it's
I thought it was like a place in Middle Earth.
No.
Down in Darnell Hollow.
The Darnells live there. All right? And if you go up the road, every single house Darnell lives in. And it's called Darnell Hollow.
Are they black?
Because the whole
Come on,
family
man.
lives up
Last
in that,
name.
Up in
That's
that.
why.
I was saying Darnell Holla.
Right. Yeah, the first
Everybody
name is
there-
I
Darnell.
went to school with him for 2 years.
Oh, really?
I'm just saying, like, when you said that, I was like, what's this Darnell in West Virginia?
He played for the Jets for 3
Darnell?
seasons.
Yeah, get out. It's DB, you know.
Yeah.
Good one-on-one cover.
Darnell.
So they're all the same family.
All the same family.
How weird
Well,
is that,
that's-
though, man?
Like they're well.
Were they weird, or was it just they're fairly normal people that all happened to live in
you
the
know
same
what?
area?
I think it was one of those things where one of the family members had bought that entire plot of land, and since that point in time, it's just like, well, you can build a house here, you can build a house here, and before you know it, the entire road is basically their family.
See, I would do the opposite. Like, I'd buy up all that property, and then when the kids move out, like, you can't move within my property zone.
No, I agree.
No
with that
matter what,
entirely.
you stay that
like
far
I don't
away.
want those people around.
Right, that's exactly why I would do that.
Dude, but that's like some of the ancient, like, you know, when you see ancient cultures, like native cultures and stuff, a lot of times the young men have to go on these spirit quests or whatever, right?
Yeah, Vision Quest.
But basically, you got to walk like miles, hundreds of miles through a jungle, get out to the coast or whatever.
But at least you're on peyote.
But a lot of that stuff too. Now, I don't know about the Native American. I know they're down in South American. A lot of that was they had to get the young guys to walk very far to another village, so there wasn't inbreeding.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so that's why the young men were always kind of at a certain age.
So
were
the
sent
quest,
out there.
so
I
the
would've-
Vision Quest,
man.
what you're questing for, is a little different.
I
than
think you
thought.
could have made it easy and been like, son, you got to go or you can F your sister. I guarantee you, he's packing the bags like, I'm out. Hey, guys, take care of yourselves.
Good or bad, what is in your DNA? 844-999-OLA.
Is it just me? But anyway, just stay here. Don't bring it up.
Well,
I'm out.
you've heard about these journeys all the time, right? And I was watching this show the other day, and the guy explained it. Like, well, they also had to find other women outside their tribes. It's like that makes so much more sense.
That really does make a lot of sense. Vision Quest. Hello, Renee. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi.
Hola.
Renee, turn down your
The
radio.
last one you had.
Hey, turn your radio down, Renee.
Boy.
Turn the radio down, please. Okay.
All right, now we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, I did one of those, the 23andMe DNA test, and I was trying to see how much Mexican and German I thought I was, and it came back and it said I had Neanderthal in me. So, yeah. I'm just a good old knuckle dragger, you know?
What are you?
God damn.
You're Lucy?
I mean,
is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Lucy, right.
But aren't we all? I mean, no matter how far you go back on that, I mean, if you even go back to Australopithecines, they're all coming from the same place.
But it's when you hit it, man.
It said it was 81% of the people that had taken the test. I'm in the 81 percentile.
But how much Neanderthal? Like, right, if you go back far enough, sure. Well, even then, not guarantee. They were two separate things.
You got like a big forehead or anything? You know what I mean? Pronounced?
Yeah. Did you really look in the mirror? What's the most?
I don't have a hairy back or anything
Do
that.
you walk with your palms facing back?
No.
Okay.
No, just
trying to think.
knuckle-dragger, you know?
All right. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, after you learn you got all this Neanderthal in you, what's the most Neanderthal-looking thing about you? Did you go like, that explains
nothing
it?
that I can see, but, I don't have any kind of markers for diseases, like no cancer, no Alzheimer's, none of that. So maybe that's what it has sometimes, hey.
Yeah, it worked for the Neanderthals.
Yeah. Do you ever have like turkey leg night or anything? You know what I mean? Like where everybody just has a big turkey leg for dinner.
People have to remind you to use utensils.
You cook with fire.
Well, we do eat a lot of native meat. I mean, buffalo and.
Well, bison's fantastic.
Well, do you go to the store and get it, or do you chase it with a spear? I mean, that's really the telling point here.
Have you ever knocked a monkey out of a tree with a blow dart?
No, but my husband got a raccoon out of a tree and we ate it.
You ate the raccoon?
Yeah.
How was
it? Up and we ate it.
What was the circumstance that you need? I mean, like, you could go to the grocery store. Were times that tough that you were like, hell, with a eating raccoon?
This is where the Neanderthal comes out.
Yeah, just natural
out
instinct.
of the way. I don't know.
Was it tasty?
Yes, it was very.
Okay.
That's the
Now
Neanderthal.
you got a taste for raccoons.
That's the Neanderthal
that's where the
talking.
Neanderthal coming out.
Yeah, dude, she didn't plan this out. They saw a dead one. Her instinct took over, and they ate it.
She smashed it with a rock.
It's a meal.
Good or bad, what is in your DNA? 844-999-OLA. More of your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Bad jokes on the way. Email the bad jokes to the men's room at mensroomlive.com. We will kick off the bad jokes right before we drink and toast with the shot of the day. Okay, so Oprah Winfrey, she says she does not have it in her DNA to run for president. Obviously, she's not speaking in scientific terms, but I think we kind of get what she's saying. It's just not what she's built for. There's a dating service that matches you by DNA for a potential partner. Basically, the way they say this thing goes is the creators say there are 11 genes that impact attraction, and they try to match you up on that based on pheromones and other things, and that's their gimmick. And then
So they might be ugly, but you'll like them.
Then we have Charles Manson's grandson, who said he would welcome a DNA test. Why? Because he wants to take over the late killer's property and remain. So a question.
Right, but he never wanted to have that name up until Chuck died.
No, you don't want to be known as a Manson.
Right, but that's my only thing. Like, look, man, I just hate the idea that you're trying to claim ownership of it now because he's going to make some money off of it, right? So now you want to prove to the world that you're related to Charles Manson, but you've spent your entire life denying that you're related to Charles Manson.
If I'm Miles Manson and I'm on Tinder, I'm going to have a tough time.
Sure.
It doesn't matter, even if I put a picture up of Rob Lowe or whoever you think is attractive.
You might be surprised. How many women offered to marry Charles Manson? I mean, my God, dude, you probably do better than you think.
That was more of an occult thing.
Still, they probably say, like, listen, I think you're ugly. I can't get past the nose. But your last name's Manson. Related to Chuck? You say, yeah.
I think there's a little more mind control going there, like in a David Koresh type way, obviously.
Sure.
Or whatever, but still. I mean, yeah, you're right. They're still
But
going
they
to
hear that.
have
Kind of
a
his thing.
It's a power thing, like anything
But that's
else.
it. If you say Manson, those people are out there. They're like, that's who I'm attracted to.
Good or bad, what is in your DNA? 844-999-OLA. Speaking of that, here's a weird one for you. Do you remember when I was a Boy Scout, there was no pool in the town that I grew up in where you could go and practice things, get certification for lifeguarding
and all
anything
that.
like that. So the only pool that was available was at the John F. Kennedy Correctional Facility.
Awesome.
And as we were in Boy Scouts, we would have to go to this federal correction facility, which had an indoor pool, and do all our testing.
I like that they named the correctional facility after a president.
Yeah. And it was
That's the legacy you want to leave
minimal
behind.
security facility that had a softball field. They had workshops. They had different things going on in there, and even a track. It was there was a reason they sent us there to do stuff because they had these facilities. Federal
Or they
facilities.
hated you.
Exactly. And the big thing was that when we came to do our deal, a woman named Squeaky Fromm was one of the workers who would
Yeah.
escort you around and take you to where you want to go, because everybody had a job.
Right.
And we didn't know who Squeaky Fromm was.
Sure.
But everybody else did. Our scoutmaster knew. You know, everybody else and she was from West Virginia, got sent back to West Virginia. But
Obviously, she was from West Virginia.
She was part of that Manson group of, whatever the hell, killers. So, but if you left, you would go to a real jail. So, like, you could stay there. You know what I mean? But if you tried to escape or whatever, like, your ass is grass. Like, you're going to a bad place.
So I'm guessing this is white-collar crime.
But she was there, which
Right,
doesn't
right.
make any sense. Because it seems like that's a different level of criminal behavior.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just saying, other than the guy who cheated his taxes, who's also there, or whatever.
Maybe the collar wasn't that important.
I guess not. Good or bad, what is in your DNA? 844-999-OLA.
A couple of comments real quick. Says, I've been told my entire life that I was Choctaw, Oklahoma, on my father's side. Last year for Christmas, my cousin got me a DNA test, and it says that I am a 0% Native American. My father and sister on his side don't believe it. And then this one.
If you find out, like everybody's finding out they're not
Use
what they thought they
Dreamcatcher
are.
for sale.
Right.
Yeah, can I just pick something and be really into it and be like,
Yeah,
yeah, 1%.
Isn't that kind of what
Right.
people do?
Isn't that what the
Yeah.
woman did in
I mean-
Spokane when she turned herself into a black person?
Yeah, like, I'm black now. Like, you're not. But she's
Well,
like,
she-
no, I am.
Fatal flaw. Maybe just go a little bit. She went full on like, I'm black.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, she just
All right,
straight up-
just-
not like,
yeah.
I'm
Say it.
1/16th black. Everybody's 1/16th
Cherokee,
something. Right.
Right.
She's like, no, 100% black.
Yeah,
Like,
she went
no,
too far. Her
you're
percentage was
100%
too
white.
high.
Yeah. And that's all it is. Don't overstep the percentage. And then there's this pick me up real quick. My brother never met his father. I never met my father. Coincidentally, my brother's dad shot himself in the head years ago, and my brother turned out to be suicidal and into self-mutilation. My dad was a biker and a heroin addict, spent most of his life in prison, and I turned into a heroin addict and got arrested a few times. We never knew that about them until after the fact.
Damn.
Never rode the bike though, huh?
Didn't ride the bike, just did the heroin and did the time.
Good or bad, what is in your DNA? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Ben. Welcome to the men's room. Hello, Ben.
Ben?
Goodbye.
Oh, come on, Ben.
Good Lord.
Hell with the kids. Who cares? Let them do what they want.
Hello, Diane. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So my story goes, my sister calls me one day and she asked me if I looked up my origin of blood or where my blood was, So I thought, well, I'll look it up. And I have a very rare blood. It's Rh negative.
What does that mean to those of us who have no idea what the hell you're talking about?
Well, like most people are O positive or AB negative.
Yeah, okay.
They don't know where the Rh negative came into the factor.
Does that mean anyone can take your blood?
Well, no, nobody can. Only Rh negative.
Yeah, I was going to say, man,
All right.
would you want something called Rh negative with everything you've heard? Like, hell no.
So if somebody is in a life and death situation and they happen to be Rh negative, are you on a list to maybe help save their life?
No, I just found all this out, so I need to get on a list. Yeah,
Okay.
because I can only take Rh negative blood, and they can only have Rh negative blood.
So
What,
the same thing could happen to you.
If something happened to me,
That's what I'm saying. Like you need this blood. You need to find out where to get it.
it would be hard to find.
That's what
Yeah.
I mean.
What statistically, what are the odds of someone having Rh negative blood?
15% of the entire world.
Okay. Now, did your sister find this out about herself, and that's why she asked you to check?
No, I don't know what made her look up, Rh negative. I'm the only one in the family that has it.
And you know what sounds sad, but you know this to be true. Everyone else in your family was so relieved that it was just you. Like all of the,
Yeah,
they don't
thank
want to
God,
say
not
this,
me.
but they're like, phew.
Are there
Thank
any
goodness.
things that happen typically to people with this blood? In other words, you have a
Well-
higher rate of this, that, or the other, a lower rate, or you know what I mean? Is it positive? Is it negative? Other than the fact that it's rare.
It's negative, I would say negative.
Okay.
But I don't know. I just know if you look up the origin of Rh negative blood, it says that they don't know where it came into factor with all the blood types, and that they believe it's alien blood.
It's what?
What reputable
It's
source are you
alien
looking
blood.
at where they think that
Alien
it's
blood.
Alien
Oh,
blood.
alien blood.
Yeah, that's what they say. Because
Wait,
I
who's
can't get
they?
I can't get HIV.
Who's they? I'm with Thrill on this one.
You might want to continue your research on that. They're
Yeah.
telling you
Yeah,
that.
I looked it up. I mean, I read up on it over and over and everything. They also say that it could be Jesus blood.
Okay.
But Jesus didn't have any kids, I didn't think.
According to the story, he did not.
So I don't know.
I'm very intrigued by all of this that you're telling me.
This is back in the Egyptian days when it supposedly came in.
Well, no, a couple of people are chiming in and saying, I'm RH negative too. My wife is RH negative. She has to get a special shot when she gives birth. Otherwise, she could die.
Too.
Can they confirm that it's Jesus blood?
No one has commented on that. I'm a health teacher. Everyone has all right, okay, this clears up some. It says, I'm a health teacher, and everyone has either RH positive or RH negative in their blood. Then there's something I don't understand. RH negative is a rare phenotype. It coincides with either O, A, or B blood.
Okay.
But they cannot take my blood. Only RH. There's a website for just RH people only.
Okay.
Or, if you need blood, that you can get on this website and search out people with the RH.
I wouldn't go sticking yourself with an AIDS needle. Everything I'm reading right here.
No, I would never do that.
Okay,
no,
don't do that. Don't roll the dice. Like, look at me, I can do this. Don't do that.
No, hell no.
All right.
Yeah. So listen. Basically, you're either RH positive or RH negative. As I'm understanding it now, you're still A, B, O, whatever, negative, positive. And then RH is something that applies to your blood type. It's not strictly your blood type.
Okay. All right.
You don't want it, but I do
You don't want it.
I don't believe you're an alien or Jesus. And look, I don't know. Maybe you're both. But that so far, not so confirmed.
Okay. Damn. Good or bad, alien blood. What is in your DNA? 844-999-OLA.
I'm just still amazed.
She's related to the octopus.
A doctor looking at you and going, you got Jesus blood.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you can look up anything you want online. If your doctor's telling you, that's one thing. But I agree with you, Ted. It's unlikely the doctor's saying, listen, we don't know much about this, but we've narrowed it down to one of two things. You're an alien or a descendant of Christ. Like, I don't feel like that's the diagnosis. Your average just going to give you, right? Like, well, you have a rare blood type. 15% of the world has it. And I'm sorry, I wish we could do more. We don't know a lot about it, mostly because either the alien or biblical traits that it has.
You got, girl, you got that Egyptian blood.
I can tell by your walk.
X-Files, Jesus.
Right? Is the priest also a doctor?
X-Files, Jesus.
I mean,
Jesus from space!
All right, so.
Who would star in Jesus from space?
Her. Okay. That's who I would cast.
You would cast? I think I'd go Daniel Day-Lewis. Mm-hmm. Good or bad, what is in your DNA? 844-999-OLA.
Except Daniel Day-Lewis would be so annoying that he'd go live in Mars or in space for a year.
I lived biblically on Mars for years.
I had to get into the role.
Space Jesus. He's Space Jesus.
I'm playing Space Jesus. What else you want me to do? It's hard to breathe out there. Yeah, more people confirming. Like, no matter who you are, there's an RH something to your blood.
Okay.
Probably not alien or Jesus. People are saying other things, but I'm being nice. Hello, Luke. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola. Luke, top that, brother.
Hey, so I got me some alcoholic genetics.
You got me some.
I mean that in the best ways.
Obviously.
As my great-grandfather was a booze-making man in Kentucky, and my grandpa, he was a vodka-loving man here in Washington.
Well, it went from whiskey-making to vodka-loving. That's when things change.
How have things changed?
Well, I'm saying the first guy, he made alcohol in Kentucky. The next one's like, he liked vodka. I'm just saying there's a difference. What? I'm not Sam Adams, but I don't mind drinking it.
Well, I guess the difference would be the barn that it was coming from, I suppose.
Okay.
My great-grandfather, he made booze here and put together race car engines.
And do you do the alcohol thing as well?
Yeah. We make ourselves some fine honey wine and some sparkling honey wine.
You grow the grapes or do you buy them?
It seems to be part of the genetic code. The more you put in your belly, the more things seem to just make sense from a philosophical standpoint, if you know what I mean.
How do you add the bubbles to make it sparkling?
Oh, well, you at the end, when you go to bottle the booze, you simply add a little bit more of the sugar content, and that makes the leftover yeast and reaction in the booze that you're creating sparkle in the bottle.
You ever have, 20 bottles just blow up because they were bottled wrong or weren't sealed correctly or, just kind of exploded under pressure?
No, only with like root beer, but with the booze, we got that stuff on lockdown. It stays delicious in the bottle.
Do you have a professional kind of facility? You have like a bladder press and a bottling thing and all that?
Nothing real fancy, glass carboys, the right recipe, and the tried and true methodology of my family, and it's been passed down, and it just works.
Okay. And what did you ever get a chance to try the recipe of your great grandfather for the bourbon recipe?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my grandpa Homer and I used to go out to the old rollaway in the garage.
His name was Homer for real.
Yeah, no, my
awesome.
grandpa Homer was the man. He was a hell of a dude. And as a
I don't
matter
see
of
how he
fact,
couldn't be. His name
passing-
was Homer.
If you go by Grandpa Homer,
Yeah,
you got to be a cool
You got to
dude.
be a good guy, I think.
Oh yeah, no, he was the best. He was definitely awesome.
Okay.
And when he passed, I took his flask that we would drink out of. I put it in his coat and I went to church to watch him, get his last respects. The end of the ceremony, went up, took a chug of that flask right at the altar, and dumped the rest right on his urn. Gave him the respect that he deserved.
All right.
Well done.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
I thought he'd just say it was an open casket, like he
poured it on the dude.
Yeah,
Open
that's
your
what I
mouth,
was.
dude,
I'm like,
open your mouth.
Oh no! At least it was the urn. I honestly.
Oh, his jaw just fell
I
off.
feel so much better. Like, please, God, tell me he.
I know
did
I've
not
told
just-
this story before, but I have like a second cousin, and when in the group of them, when their mom died, they sat there with a cooler and cases of beer, drank beers, and then tossed the empties on top after they had lowered the casket in. Just tossed the empties down the hole.
Oh, Jesus.
You mean where she was buried?
Yeah, they like right after they lowered her in, and everybody kind of left. They pulled out a cooler, sat there, got wasted, and.
Do you think someone went in there
Damn.
and picked out all the cans, or did they just say the hell with it and take the backhoe and just dump the dirt in?
I'm saying they just dumped the dirt.
Wait, I mean, you're
What are you gonna do?
you're already burying stuff in the ground.
Look, it's their mother, and they're throwing cans on it. So I'm assuming that's where they want them.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Right.
it's not like they were like doing it disrespectfully. They were just like, screw it, we're gonna sit around and get drunk with mom one more time.
Good or
Dude, it's
bad?
sick.
What is in your DNA? 844-999-OLA.
By the way, Miles, you asked the question: who would play Space Jesus in the movie?
Yes.
People have recommended Nicolas Cage, which
He would be a great Space
He would be a
Jesus.
great Space Jesus. Willem Dafoe. I remember he played Jesus before, but I feel, and that was just weird, but I feel like Space Jesus suits him a little better.
It's got to be somebody who hasn't done it before. Like, you can't have Caviezel or whatever that guy's name. You got to have an original Space Jesus.
All right, here's a few more. Kevin Costner. I'm not feeling that. I'm sorry, man.
No.
Terry Crews.
Mel Gibson could play Space Jesus.
Matthew McConaughey is Judah. Matthew McConaughey would be a good Space Jesus. Right?
Because it's believable. Like, you believe that he
Right.
came from space as Jesus.
Keanu Reeves. Not bad.
And if you told me right now that he was Space Jesus, I'd still believe it.
Yeah, I'd believe
that
it.
makes sense with McConaughey.
If you said Matthew McConaughey, he's Space Jesus.
Oh,
But-
yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Good or bad, what is in your DNA?
Hey, had in my ancestry DNA.
They should have
Get a
a-
load of this. I'm Space Jesus.
What's the comedian that's Black Jesus?
Who's the guy who goes by Black Jesus?
Something Johnson.
Figures.
Yeah.
Right,
No, I'm
like-
dead serious.
I know.
But I can't think of his first name. But I'm going to say, that guy already plays Jesus. He could be Space Jesus. He's Black Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he's not Black Jesus anymore.
From the emails, how about Jared Leto?
No.
Yeah, dude, he was
Space
doing a great
Jesus?
job.
Why not? He's perfect Space
Jared
Jesus.
Leto is
No.
space. Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
he's
a shoe
yeah,
in.
he's-
I like Jesus. I don't want Jared Leto doing it.
Why would this is Space Jesus?
Space Jesus, different Jesus.
Because I hate Jared Leto.
Why do you hate
I
Jared
thought you
Leto?
loved Jared
Because
Leto.
he's talented and far too good looking.
All right. Okay, I should say. Well, then he should
I'm
be
jealous of Jared Leto, all
the
right?
perfect
Wow,
Space
man.
Jesus.
He is the
Well,
perfect
he's an actor and in successful
All right.
bands.
Russell Brand.
Hell with him.
Russell Brand. That's
Another good
suggestion.
Space Jesus.
Until you get the voice.
People should do.
If you want to hear this voice, it's Space Jesus.
People should be on the casting couch.
Yes, the casting couch. Get Jared Leto in there. Ted would like to talk to you.
Well, if we're just
You got
You want to play
mouth,
Space,
Jared
Space
Leto.
Jesus?
well, we can have the other guy that I like that's good looking that everybody actually likes. What is his name from The Notebook?
Ryan Gosling.
Gosling. He's
No.
There's a Space Jesus.
No, he's not Space Jesus at all, man.
He's Space Jesus of your heart.
I don't. Maybe the Space Jesus on my heart, but not on screen, man.
Yeah, Jared Leto just gets everything, man. He's got an Oscar. He goes to Burning Man.
Yeah,
I'm just tired of it.
But it's always weird.
Did you see him at Burning Man?
No. I would have. Well, I probably would have been like, "Oh my God, you're Jared Leto."
So you're going to punch him in the face?
No.
That was my
Ted,
You're going to punch Jared
Ted,
Leto
actually,
in the
right
face
now I'm Space
because
Jesus.
he's talented and good looking. F you, Jared Leto. You ain't Space Jesus to me.
You are far too good looking.
You will never be Space Jesus.
Gosling's so much better than you. That'd be a weird story to come out of Burning Man. Man beats up Jared Leto for attractiveness, screaming about Ryan Gosling.
Stay tuned. The return of Ted versus the FCC is coming up, along with bad jokes, as we'll kick those off coming up as well. Our question today, good or bad, what is in your DNA? 844-999-OLA. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
All right, still to come, exciting return of Ted versus the FCC. Bad jokes on the way as well. And today we're talking about DNA, whether it's actual DNA in your head, what you believe to be true, good or bad. What do you believe is in your DNA? 844-999-OLA.
Well, we got sidetracked. A woman who called, and I guess her blood type was rare.
Diane, maybe?
I may have been.
I think Diane.
That's her Earth name. But she, as we went through everything with her blood type, she explained it in her personal research that they have determined her blood is either of extraterrestrial origin or direct lineage of Jesus Christ.
That is correct.
Which led to Space Jesus, which became a conversation. And then, Miles, you asked, who would play Space Jesus?
That's correct.
By the way, just so you know, there's already a hashtag that says something to the effect of Jared Leto, not Space Jesus.
Not my Space Jesus.
Not my Jared Leto, not my Space Jesus.
Okay.
But here are some of the other suggestions that have come in to play the role of Space Jesus. Jason Momoa, you might know him as Aquaman and something else. Steve Buscemi, someone insists that Morgan Freeman would play the role of sports Space Jesus.
You almost slipped on that one.
Chris Pratt.
That was Richard Pryor.
Right. Don't say it. Mr. Rogers. I can see him kind of playing Space Jesus.
No.
Christopher Walken.
I think the Russell Brand is pretty strong right now. The Jared Leto is pretty strong.
The few more came in, I think, it's so. Say Jack Nicholson, James Franco, I think would do a fine
Shia
Space
LaBeouf,
Jesus.
one of those guys.
No. Shia LaBeouf is Space Jesus?
I don't know. He seems pretty out there.
Yeah, but not in a good way. Owen Wilson and Johnny Depp.
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey.
Maybe we need to think younger. Remember, Jesus died at 33.
Oh, yeah.
So what are you thinking?
How old's Jared Leto?
Who's the kid who was in Baywatch that all the women like?
Efron.
Zac Efron. Zac Efron.
As
Zac
Space
Efron?
Jesus?
Yeah.
I don't know if he has the reach,
He's
man.
chiseled.
He's chiseled, but
I'm
this
sure.
is Space Jesus.
When you want chiseled Jesus?
But that's a
That's
different
a different movie.
Like Gold Gym Jesus?
That's chiseled Jesus.
Right, that franchise is already taken.
My bad. Okay.
Swole Jesus. Crime has a new enemy, and it's Swole Jesus.
Now there's woke Jesus.
MMA Jesus.
You know what? You're right. Maybe Conor McGregor gets to be Space Jesus.
All right.
He's doing everything else. He's fighting. He's
Now
boxing.
we're playing the Space Jesus.
Wow, I am Jesus.
Good or bad, what is in your DNA? 844-999-OLA.
Somehow he would think
He would get the role.
He'd own it.
He legit would be like, I am
Jesus.
I'm Jesus. I'm a god now.
I'm
You guys
Space Jesus.
Told you. Been telling you this the whole time.
Ted, guess who it is?
James.
James, welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Hey, so you go back to year 1630. I got a guy named John Billington. He has the dubious distinction of the first man executed in the colonies. He was a signer of the Mayflower Compact.
Congratulations on that. Man, oh man.
And that's your relative.
That is my grandmother's. You go straight back. Her mother's maiden name was Billington. Go straight back to him.
Damn.
And his son, it's actually referenced in a book about pre-American history. His son is actually referenced as helping to save the original colonists.
Wow.
Well, that part's cool then.
Yeah.
Lead with that. Then get to the execution.
Sure. Good or bad, what is in your DNA?
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.